Good morning, boys and girls. This is the math lesson for April 28th. You'll need workbook pages 691 and 692. Okay, boys and girls, we should all be on page 691 right now. And if you're looking to the right of the screen, you can see that the objects that we need are going to be a yellow and a red pencil or crayon. And we will also need those colored shapes that were cut out and put in the plastic bag for you. You will need two yellow squares. You will also need two red triangles and one red rectangle. So make sure you have all of those items and you'll be ready to work. All right, as soon as you get ready and have all those items, then you're ready to go. Go ahead and push pause so you can get those. And as soon as you have those, let's get busy. All right, the first thing that I want you to do is take your shapes, your cutout shapes, and I want you to place them across the top right next to the number 1, just like I have mine up here. I'm underlining it for you, so go ahead and see how I've placed my shapes up on the top like that. All right, so you see that we have a yellow square, a red triangle, a red rectangle, a yellow square, and a red triangle. All right, now you're going to take those shapes and you're going to sort them into the boxes below. All right, our first box below that to the left says, look where I'm highlighting with the Y, it says yellow. All right, so in that box, you're going to put all the yellow shapes. Then beside that, to the right, let me change my colors. This one says red. With the R, it says red. I'm sure you guys can read those. I'm just making sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your shapes from up here. All right, you're going to take all those shapes and then you're going to separate them into these boxes. All of these right here should be yellow. All of these in this box should be red according to the color on top. Once you do that, then we're going to come down to the next part into number 2. Oops, I'm sorry, back up. I apologize. After you've separated them, then you're going to go back and you're going to draw your shapes. You're going to draw your shapes. So whatever you have in your yellow box, if you've got a yellow square, then you'll come back and in your yellow box, you're going to draw a yellow square. If you've got a red triangle in your red box, I want you to draw your red triangle. Okay, so every shape that's in your yellow box, you should have a shape drawn in your yellow box. For every red for every red shape that you have in there that you've moved from your top row up here that you've moved down into the box below. All right, you're going to draw those shapes now. All right, so now we can move down to section number 2. All right, so once you've drawn those shapes into those boxes, we need to see which group of shapes has 3 objects, okay? Which group? Is it the yellow group or the red group? Which group has 3 items? Okay, that's why the number 3 is right there. They want to know, is it, let me change colors, is it the yellow group? Is it the group of yellow shapes? Is there 3 of those? If there is, then we're going to circle that box? Or is it the red group? That's the red box right there. If it's the red group, then we're going to circle the red box, okay? Then once we're done counting them, we're going to go back and count these boxes right here. And we're going to say how many groups have 3 objects in them. How many of these groups, okay? Does the yellow group have 3 items? If so, that's 1. Does the red group have 3 items? If so, that's 2. But if only the yellow group has 3 items, then that's only 1 group that has it. If the red group is the only group that has 3 items or 3 shapes, then only 1 group has 3 objects. Okay, remember you're only going to circle whichever group has 3 objects. Okay, and so however many groups in here you circle, that is going to tell your number at the end. You're going to count how many groups that you've circled in here and write that number at the end. Okay? If you have any questions, give us a call. And then once you're done with that, go on to the next page. Okay, this is our last page of math for today, page 692. And if you look up at the top, number 1, where you see the red apple right there, what we're going to do is we're going to look at those 4 shapes at the top, those 4 triangles. And we're going to see which shape belongs in this box right here. One of those shapes belongs in this set, in that box. You're going to choose which of those triangles belongs in that box with that set, and you're going to draw it in the empty space right there. Right there, you're going to draw your triangle. All right, when you're done drawing your triangle, I want you to go back and count how many triangles are in that box, and then write your number down at the end in the empty space. All right, you can pause while you're doing that and then come back to do number 2. Okay, look at number 2 right here, number 2. And for number 2, we have a set of 3-dimensional solid shapes. And I want you to think about our 3-dimensional solid shapes and the ones that slide, that roll, and that stack, okay? Which of those 4 shapes cannot stack? Which of those shapes does not stack? Mark an X on the shape that does not stack. All right, go ahead and do that. If you need to think about it, pause the video and then come back and go to number 3. All right, for number 3, right here, what you're going to do is count the pieces of fruit and tell how many. Write the number at the end in the empty line. Count and tell how many pieces of fruit and write the number. When you're finished, your math is all done for today, and I will see you later. Have a great afternoon, guys.